Are you trying to figure out the best way to engrave slate with your fiber laser? I'm here to help you. I've got the Monport GI30 right here, which is a MOPA fiber laser, so we have a little bit more variability in it, but I want to teach you today how to really dial in your fiber laser settings when it comes to slate. It's not that difficult, it's honestly relatively easy, and we're mostly going to be looking at these guys right here. If I can get the camera to focus, running some test grids. So here you can see there's a lot of variableness there in what the color looks like, what the settings are, and this right here is what you don't want. You don't want to get results like this where you have it bubbling up. That's raised, that doesn't look good, and overall just some of the stuff on here does not look great. So come with me. We're going to go through several different things and try several different settings on this piece of slate, so that way we can get to this. Now this is going to be the perfect Father's Day gift if you're looking for something to make for Father's Day, or if you're just trying to dial in your slate settings, either way. So with that out of the way, let's dive in, take a look at this 30 watt MOPA, how I got my engraves to be bright white, and how easy it is to engrave slate with a fiber laser. This is absolutely my go-to instead of my CO2 laser that I used to use. Faster, looks better, easier to batch, all of that. So let's dive in. We're going to jump into looking at some of the test grids, why I ran what I did, and the results that we got from those. So to start out with, we're going to run a test grid on the Q-Pulse and the power. Now what you're seeing here is real-time engraving. I haven't sped this up whatsoever because I want you to see exactly how long it takes. Between all the tests that I'm going to do here, it took approximately 2 minutes of actual engraving time to run all of these tests, between me running them, looking at them, and then making the adjustments and everything in Lightburn. It maybe took 5 minutes, 6 minutes, but it doesn't really take a whole lot of time. Now I've adjusted my Q-Pulse in the setting, and this is running power and frequency, kind of trying to dial things in here. And you're really just going to want to generate several different test grids like I'm doing, testing different settings, and that will help you dial in exactly what you want your settings to be. Here you can see a gradient starting to evolve. We're going to see that a little bit more on this one. Again, this is real-time engraving. This is just a bigger power and frequency grid, so that way we can test more settings, and you'll see that this starts to really develop from the just lower end of the color spectrum into the golder side of the color spectrum. And honestly, if I was to bring the power settings a little higher, if I had a higher wattage laser, I could probably get more gold. If I went more into the frequency side, I could probably get more gold, but it's not really what I go for. I talk about that a little later in the video, but I like brighter whites, and so that's what I'm shooting for. And so now I'm doing speed and power, kind of trying that variable, and you'll see here what I was talking about at the beginning of the video, where you start to kind of burn the slate and it bubbles up when you get to be too slow with too much power. As you can see on that lower end, it's like 100 millimeters a second at 100% power. It gets to be pretty hot. Now we're getting into the actual engraving of a slate coaster with the settings that I found worked well for me on my laser, and this is real time. I'm using the flood fill option in Lightburn in order to save some time. Overall, this coaster took about 2 minutes, and I really think it came out great. The detail on it was phenomenal. I love watching the actual text engrave, and now we're sped up some just so you're not sitting here watching 3 minutes of a coaster engraving. I do go ahead and have it crosshatch, and I found that the crosshatching made it to be a little bit brighter, and you can see that coming out there. This engraving looks absolutely phenomenal. I'm very impressed with it. I think it came out amazing. It came out fantastic, exactly how I'm wanting it to look, with the that bright white color. And now I'm going to put my logo on the back of it. If you're not branding everything that leaves your shop, you really need to. You'll see here that This is only going to take just a second, and truthfully, again, this is real time. If I was doing a bunch of these, I'd have my acrylic pieces set up in a actual bracket area, so that way I could just put the coaster into it and I'd be aligned every time. But there you can see a great engraving. I will say it was easier than I thought, and I thought it was going to take a lot longer to dial different things in. There is a little bit of color variation here, and I could probably go up higher and get more variation if I just kind of continued up, maybe get into that gold a little more. But that's not what I'm after. I like a bright white engrave on my slate, and that's exactly what we were able to achieve here. This coaster is perfect for doing Father's Day, as a papa, as a hunter, as whoever. This graphic was easy to get off of Creative Fabrica, threw a little text in there, rearranged it a hair, and Bob's your uncle, or Jeff's your dad, or whatever you want to say, and it's done. It looked great. This one took a little bit longer to engrave than like my average coaster. If I was doing something like this demon graphic here, like I did before, that's pretty quick because there's not a lot of white space, but you know, these are simple to do, easy to do, and you can rock out a 4-pack of them in a couple minutes, really. So yeah, that's all there is to it. There's not a whole lot to doing fiber lasers on slate. It's easy to get bright white. Now, if you want to do photo engraving, I don't do photo engraving. I guess I could do a video on it in the future if you guys were interested in that, but that's just not something that I typically do. So that's why I'm not showing it here. But photo engraving on slate is also pretty easy. It's kind of hard to mess up slate. Run a couple tests and see where it lies, and just try it. Now, this is a 30 watt, like I said. This will scale to really whatever wattage. You can just change your frame of reference when it comes to percentages. The best way that I think of percentages is what percent is that of into wattage. So if I'm running 50% on my 30 watt, I'm effectively running around 15 watts. That's an approximation because not every laser is putting out exactly 30 or exactly 50, but that'll get you in the ballpark. So you can use that type of formulation to extrapolate these settings to whatever laser you have. And if you don't have a MOPA, you can still get bright white engraving. You'll just need to do a little bit more dialing in because you won't be able to do things like testing your Q pulse, which is what we were doing here. So this is Q pulse right there. And then this bottom one here was also Q pulse. So this was Q pulse as well. And so you won't be able to do that on a standard fiber, and you also won't be able to have as much variation in the frequency on a standard fiber. But at the end of the day, fibers are fibers, and you're going to be able to get a great result on slate using your fiber. So if you're wanting to pick up one, I've got a link in the description as well as a discount code for Monport, and that'll help get you a new fiber. You can get one for under $2,000 if you go with like a 20 watt non-MOPA. Which is pretty great, at least at the time of recording, especially if you use my code. So again, code's in the description, as well as the slate that I use. I get my slate from Amazon. I've tried a couple different sources, and Amazon has been the best source for it. So slate's in the description. Monport links are in the description. And I'll also throw a couple other links down there if you want to try out something different. But yeah, head down there, click on those links. I do get a little bit of a kickback if you use them. And it also helps show Monport that we're driving sales and stuff. But honestly, I wouldn't recommend this laser if I didn't love it. I don't use it as much as I want to. I'm going to start using it here more. I'm going to be putting a different laser where this is and moving this laser to over closer to the station that I typically work at. But this is about to get a lot more usage and a lot more videos as I start to ramp back up into videos now that I'm back out in the shop doing that. So I hope you found this video useful. If you did, hit that like button. If you didn't like it, there's a button for that too. There's a subscribe button down there if you really felt that it was useful and you really enjoyed this video. And that is really the ultimate show of support that you can do for me, is to hit that subscribe button and the thumbs up button and even leave a comment. Also, there's going to be a new website down in the description. It's my same Created Workshop website that I've had for years, at least the domain. But the website's been completely rebuilt. And there's a lot of cool stuff on there. I'm going to have a lot of graphics on there for free. We're eventually going to get into some tiers and selling some files and things of that nature. But right now we're starting with mostly free content. And so head on down there, click that link as well. And here's the thing, if you made it this far, thank you. I wanted to wait until the very end of the video to talk about subscribing or any of that. I want to give you all of the value first. And then if you really did find it useful and find it valuable, that's when I would love to get a little bit of something back from you if you feel so led to, like a subscription or visiting the website and signing up for a free Toolbox membership. So that's it for this one. Be sure to come back for another video. And in the next video, if things go out in the order I'm hoping they will, I'll be looking at this guy. The We Create Vista 10 watt. It's actually a phenomenal laser. It hits way above its weight class in power and what it's capable of doing. I'm really excited about how powerful this laser is and all the features that it has at the price point that it comes in at. So if you want to see more content, again, hit that subscribe button. And those are for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.